What it do? What it do? You know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. Most definitely hit that bell icon. It's a notification bell that alert you all content that will drop to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up, the AKA, the like button. YouTube appreciate that. S.L.R Media TV appreciate that. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you go support my second YouTube channel, S.L.R Sports News TV. We had 800 subscribers over there. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment over there. All helps both of my channels grow, get more viewers, more subscribers, more new eyes, and pushes my both of my channels further into the YouTube algorithm to be noticed. So it's very important that y'all smash that like button, and it's free. You can't go wrong with it. Great content. Make sure you smash that like button for sure. You see the background. You see him. The Fiend. You see him. You see him. Yeah. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. We in the building. Shout out to my subscribers. Shout out to my future subscribers. You see the title, War in Hip Hop. The series continues. Hernandez Govan, Memphis, Tennessee. Hernandez Govan beat the case. He beat the Young Dolph case. There will be no murder charges against Hernandez Govan. How did he do it? How did he pay for the attorneys? And who was the money man that was backing Hernandez Govan? We're about to get into it. We're about to break it down, repackage it up. You know what we do. Most definitely. Where we at? Yeah, that's when Roman came back and beat him. Yeah. As a showman payback. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Bray Wyatt. Most definitely one of the great characters in wrestling, for sure. But we about to get into, we about to break this down. Hernandez Govan. Now he's out here talking, doing interviews, is getting paid. So we about to see what Hernandez Govan is talking about ever since he was found not guilty of the murder of Young Dolph being the mastermind. You know what we do. Roll the footage. Where we at? Where we at? Let's start with yeah. Let's start with this right here. Oh, yeah, we got plenty of gold. Fine. Let's start with this. Where we at?
My name is Dr. Juliet Scantlebury, Juliette Scantlebury, SCAN.
Ain't it? That ain't the one. Where we at? Where my gold line?
What are we looking at here?
Where my gold line at? Start here. We got a lot of shit breakdown.
They agreed. And Govan asked for a $10,000 cut from each of them. He chose to ask for this cut from each of them. And one thing that is important to note is that Smith and Johnson didn't even really know each other, but they knew Govan. Govan was the link between them. So let's fast forward to November 2021. Smith hears that Thornton and other PRE artists are in town. Thanksgiving time, PRE often hosts turkey drives at different locations across the city, so they knew that they were around. Justin Johnson picks up Smith from Smith's father's house, and they go hunting. They get to a stoplight on Airways, and at that stoplight, they see a special car pass through. And what is that car? A blue camouflage Corvette. Most people in Memphis know that there is only one person in this city that drives that car in this region of town, Adolph Thornton. So what does Smith and what does Johnson do? They follow that car. They follow that car. The car parks at Nikita's cookie shop, and seconds later, Smith and Johnson pull up in a stolen white Mercedes, gun down, and kill Adolph Thornton Jr. in broad daylight. They get back in the car, speed off, but not before Thornton's brother, Marcus Thornton, fires shots and shoots Smith. So Smith and Johnson are in this stolen white Mercedes. But where do they go? They go to ditch the car. They ditch the car And we'll hear from Sergeant Dabney that the car was left at 1174 Bradley Street, which they later found out is directly across the street from the defendant's home.
How long have you known Mr. Govan?
I met him in 21, and like mid 21, something like that.
Mitchell presiding, you may be seated.
All right, before I bring the jury in, to the audience in particular, for either side, particularly family members, if you're going to have difficulty controlling your emotions, I need for you to step out now. Outbursts will not be tolerated. You can bring the jury.
You ready, Your Honor?
Yes.
The jury is now entering into the courtroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you reached a verdict?
Yes.
State of Tennessee versus Hernandez, Govan, count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant Hernandez Govan not guilty in count 1 of the indictment. State of Tennessee versus Hernandez Govan, count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant Hernandez Govan not guilty in count 2 of the indictment. Ma'am,
Court's in session.
ma'am, Ms. Johnson, is this your verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to thank you for your service this week. You've done exactly what the court asked you to do, which was to sit, listen to all the proof, and come to a decision. You are excused. Thank you.
Jury's excused. Thank you.
Excuse me?
Go ahead, Your Honor. Court's still in session.
Hernandez, Govan, a jury of your peers having found you not guilty of all charges, sir, you are free to go.
Thank you so much, Judge.
You're welcome. You may come off the record.
Court's in recess.
I need judgment.
Mr. Mayor. Judge sheets.
I need judgment sheets as to each count. Get the clerk to help you do it. Yeah, but Mr. Your local counsel can help you do that.
Durham.
Mr. Durham, I'm
Durham.
sorry, Mr. Durham.
Norwegian Cruise Line sent a long notification.
I'm hearing the word going around in the streets is there's 200K on Govan's head. It's the word going around. I'm hearing that they want at least a 50 ball, 100 ball deposit to make it happen. I'm hearing there's 200K on Govy's head. And he's still in Memphis. Yeah, but he's getting secret protection on the low by the Memphis PD. But he's in Memphis. All that money that his lawyer just made off him. Why can't the lawyer find him a spot to go? Why can't the lawyer get him out of Memphis? It's 200K, 50 ball, 100 ball deposit on Govy's head. Who's going to collect? That's what I want to know. Who is going to collect that and make PRE and Young Dolph happy with justice? The war in Memphis. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. The war in hip hop. Hernandez, Govan, Memphis, Tennessee. Let's go.
There you see Hernandez Govan's reaction. But now let's get some reaction from his attorney, who's speaking right now. Let's go to that live.
Comes through. I'm always on edge because there's cases I thought I would have won easily, and the jurors just get swayed by the publicity and the media. It's been so one-sided, calling him a mastermind. The press has been going crazy because only the DA talks. And that's the problem with our system, is because they make such a good first impression saying everybody's guilty that it's hard to get a fair trial. But thank God we got jurors. They took hundreds of pages of notes, and it didn't take them, 2 hours to figure out this is all garbage.
And they virtually echoed everything that he said in closing. And they were very critical that anyone could be locked up that long and didn't have the resources to defend themselves. The jurors said that. They echoed that, and the guy said, I am offended. I'm offended by this. And he said, and he was disappointed in Mulroy. And that's your elected official, that's my elected official, because I live here. And you just go and do something.
You called that testimony with Jesse Browning BS a joke. Why?
Because it was. Half the stuff was just made up within a couple of days of this stuff, and they gave us this mystical receipt that's never been in any of the police reports. The jurors didn't buy it for a second. The lead investigator, Dabney, was incredibly honest when he said these are the mistakes that we made, and then you call up somebody that's willing to do or say anything to clean up the case to get a conviction. You saw how they shaded off the phone records. Where are the text messages? Where's any of that from Justin Johnson to our client saying we're going to do something? I presented hundreds of text messages where he's threatening people, trying to go shoot people with others. Govan was never in on any of it. And the fact that you're still asking me these questions I find offensive, because it didn't happen. You would never take anything you heard in that courtroom for any decision you would make in your life that has any significance. You would laugh at me if I said believe those guys. So let's just keep it real. This is all garbage, and I'm grateful that he's out, and I'm sorry in the world that he had to do 9 months in prison. And I'm just grateful his fiance called me, and we have the resources to help poor people.
You were very passionate in your closing arguments about, about Govan being just a man from Orange Mound up against the system. Kind of talk about where that passion came from.
When I go to 201 and look at the people that are in there, I know a lot of people do wrong, and I understand that, and I don't want violence in the streets because I live, in towns as well. But it's just so wrong. If I can see it, there's no way a jury couldn't see it, and that's why it took, 2 hours to figure that out. I mean, obviously it would have probably been quicker had they not had to go through the evidence and do their job, but the fact that anybody in the press would say, oh, it was this or it was that, it was clearly flagrant, and I wish we'd be reported as this is what your justice is in Memphis. So if you're black and poor, you got a problem.
So this was Mr. Govan, how do you feel?
Mr. Rohr, this is pro bono. I was unclear with that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
To finally have this stress taken off your shoulders.
Yeah, and have my life back.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
Go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me just about what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back, you know, just from 12 people, you know, so I'm just blessed, and I'm just ready to go see my son.
What was going through your head when you were waiting for the verdict this morning?
Nervousness, you know, of course, it's natural, but I got a team around me that was very confident and supportive, so without them, it wouldn't be no me. I just want to thank again Manny, Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, Contrell, Leanne, and just everybody that played a part in proving my innocence.
You heard your attorney say if you're black and poor in Memphis, this is what happens. What would be your words of advice?
Leave Memphis.
Do you plan on leaving Memphis, sir?
Of course.
Was there any point throughout the week where you're like, you know what, I'm still nervous, you know, prior to the verdict? Was there any point where it's like, I don't know which way it's going to go?
I've been nervous for 4 years.
How does it feel to be at the end of this 4-year journey that you've been on?
It feels great. I just feel like I've been born again. I get a chance to restart my life and do some positive things.
Do you think that this verdict will change how the court system is working here in Memphis?
As corrupt as this system is, I doubt it.
Mr. Aurora, do you think this verdict will change anything with the court system here in Memphis?
I'm not here from Memphis, but if this is a microcosm of what's going on, then you should all be worried. And maybe we should be digging into these things and figuring out why so many people are in jail, why we keep them without bond and force them into pleas and things of that nature, and why investigations aren't always there. Thankfully, my office has the resources to help these types of people and can spend the money to do it. I can only imagine how hard it is for the public defenders with their cases or other appointed lawyers that couldn't do this, and how many people shouldn't be in prison.
Oh, back in December, is that the reason? Obviously, you advised your client not to take that plea.
That's always his decision. I don't advise him to do anything. They always say, what would I do? And I'm like, I'm not serving the time, so I have no idea. I can't go through that stress. You can't duplicate that. I mean, I love the man. I believed in him. That's why I took the case, and we fought like hell for it. I'm grateful that the staff stayed with me. I yelled at them a lot this week and put a lot of pressure on them. We worked long nights for the last few months. We filed, I don't know how many, 24 motions, most of which were granted, which never happens, but it was so obvious we were right, and yet still we have a case. The government just can't ever admit that maybe there isn't anything here. They'll just prosecute, and then blame the jury if it doesn't go your way.
Y'all just heard that, right? So my thing is, he kept repeating himself, helping poor black people. So you saying Govan is poor? He broke. He ain't got no money. So how did he afford you? How was Govan was able to obtain you and your associates? You just said that you and your associates was up all night, sitting in motions, you trying to keep your associates from not walking off the case. This is all money. I don't know a lawyer right now in America or in the world, not even in my city or my state, is going to do your case for free unless he feels that's in his heart and he knows that he can win this case by shadow of a doubt. That he's going to take your case because he don't want to see the justice system take an innocent man and lock him away for life. But in this case right here, that wasn't it. Govan had to have a lawyer. He needed a lawyer. Not only that, Govan ran through multiple lawyers before he got this one. Who was funding Hernandez Govan? Who was funding him? Who was funding the lawyer? You had to pay the lawyer. There's no way that Hernandez Govan got off for free. It's impossible. It's impossible. There's no way. No way.
I just want to say thank you to my attorneys, Manny, Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, my private investigators, everybody for helping me. I didn't have the resources to necessarily, cover everything, and Manny still helped me, and he knew I was innocent. Everybody around me knew I was innocent. I just want to say thank you to the jurors for getting this right and getting my life back.
And that's the main thing. What was it like during the trial? At what point did you think, hey, wait a minute, I think I have a chance?
Well, I knew I had a chance from the beginning because I knew in my heart I was innocent. And so, it was times during the trial, of course, you get some frustrations and stuff here and there, but overall, I knew my innocence would prevail.
And how do we do prepping and everything? Did everything go as planned for you two as well?
Well, it's trial. You never know what's going to happen. All you can do is prepare the most you can. There were a lot of sleepless nights and countless hours of preparation for the last, year and a half.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, the elbow grease that the team put into this, and with the help of him too. He was an incredibly helpful client. But you just never know what's going to happen in trial or what the jury's going to think. So until closings, pins and needles.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I just want to say thank you to my family and the few friends that stuck close by me during this process and knew that I was innocent as well, and they didn't shy away from me. So I just want to thank them.
I'm sorry if you already answered, but when you heard those 5 words, you are free to go. Just that reaction.
You want to know how I felt?
Absolutely.
It's hard to explain the feeling of knowing you got your life back. And it's one of the best feelings I ever experienced. And I'm just happy to be free.
How much of a weight is this, lifted off of your shoulders after hearing not guilty or not guilty?
It's a huge weight, I was fighting more so for my son. I have an autistic son, so that's what my fight was mainly for.
I saw you looking. What was going through your mind when you heard the attorneys and you heard them say not guilty? What were you thinking then?
I was just thanking God, just praising God, because without Him, I don't even know if I would have made it this far. He gave me the strength.
What was that feeling this morning when you got up? Was there a feeling of nervousness? Because Mr. Manny over here it was like he was lighthearted today. So did that sort of rub off? Because energy is contagious. Did it rub off?
Well, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, of course I was nervous waking up. But when I made it to my attorneys, of course that all goes out the window because they're always positive and confident. So, it was a big help having them.
You talked a lot about your son. I sat at the very back row this whole time, but I saw you constantly looking back at your family. How important was it to look back, see your family here throughout the entire trial?
Hey, Mr. Govan, sorry guys, the judge has requested we don't do interviews in the courtroom.
Oh, okay.
We'll catch you all outside then.
Okay, thank you.
And I was a little shocked, a little, I guess, nervous because is that background noise bothering you?
No, you're good, my friend. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I was a little nervous because I've always, I watched a lot of crime shows or whatever in my past growing up, and normally when the verdict comes back quick, they say it's kind of bad for the defendant.
Yeah.
So I asked Manny, I was like, Manny, is it bad that they came back so quick? And he reassured me. He was like, no, no, it's like I seen it go both ways. And so being in that position, just waiting on to hear the words that are going to determine the rest of your life, it's a feeling that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
And here's the other problem. I've got another question for you because I'm sure you have seen the comments. People are still mad at you. So what's that feel? You got a not guilty and you still getting shit talked about you. And so, I mean, what's that like?
It just comes with the territory. I mean, I've been going through this for so long. It doesn't necessarily bother me, but then again, people say, trust the justice system and all of this, and we have the best, I guess, system, in the world or whatever. And here it is. I stood trial and got a not guilty verdict, and people are still, upset, saying that I was guilty and all of this, but I just think, it's just the internet trolls, and internet gave, some people a voice that wouldn't necessarily have a voice.
Let me ask you this. You have to what I believe is one of the best lawyers in the country. You have one of the best legal teams, best, strongest defenses. If they would have offered you a deal, would you have taken it?
Well, to answer that,
yeah,
it's crazy you said that. I actually signed a deal a week and a half ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I
And
took
do you
10
mind if we talk about that?
No, we signed it because, there was a massive panic because it's a life sentence that's mandatory. And Mr. Govan's 15-year-old autistic son was like, I don't want to lose you for life, Dad. Just take what you got to take and I'll see you in a few years kind of thing. And it was very heartbreaking. And, while I can't say what to do, I did encourage him if there's a risk, to your family, that there's no way to guarantee what a jury's going to do or what jurors we would actually pick. And he'd signed the paperwork. The DA said no. Yeah, we signed it up and said, here's a number, we'll do this. And they said no. They came back and wanted us to do 15 years or more and kept saying, oh, we'll write a letter to the parole board for you. I mean, what a crock of crap that is.
Yeah.
That would work to do anything. And so basically he was going to end up serving 15 years because the victim's family and all the public would be writing to the parole board saying, don't ever let him out. And so, I'm almost embarrassed that I even let Mr. Govan sign that piece of paper, but it's either mandatory life or nothing. And so, you have to weigh your options. Even if you didn't do it, you can do as, an Alford plea. But I'm glad it didn't work out.
Well, Mr. Govan, I got to ask because, people are going to be hearing that and they'll be like, oh, he was guilty. He just got one. Are you guilty?
No, I was innocent from day one. I've maintained it throughout this whole entire process. Um, I'm not CMG. I'm not an associate of CMG. I never had any ill feelings toward Dolph. I never had any beef with young Dolph. We've actually, I would say, rubbed elbows a few times or whatever in the past or whatever. Never had one issue. My heart doesn't work like that to hurt innocent people, to hurt anybody for that matter. Of course, the environment that I come from, you have to be able to defend yourself. But me just doing something to an innocent person, I wasn't raised like that. Rest in peace to young Dolph. You know, I hope his family, I pray for them. I know they're struggling going through this process, but I was innocent the whole time.
Okay, so you're now on, house arrest with an ankle monitor. But then during a hearing in February 2024, Judge Mitchell warned you that you need to stop playing with your bond because there was calls that the judge was getting about an interview you were supposed to do or something like that. Me and you were talking about doing an interview around that time.
Yes, sir.
But I never said anything.
No, you did.
It didn't come from me.
Yeah, it didn't come from you. No, it came from, I did a interview with a local blogger, not to say his name, and she got wind of it. I think when she first got wind of it, she was under the impression that I was outside of my home and out moving around.
Mm-hmm.
But I did this interview just strictly off of my iPhone, in my living room. So, of course I didn't get a chance to explain all that to the judge. I can't talk while she's talking. I can't disrespect the judge. I just sit there and listen and just take whatever she give me. And I think she was, for the most part, Judge Mitchell, whom I had the utmost respect for, because she was a pretty fair judge. I think she was more so just concerned from her, point of view about my safety.
Okay, because a couple months later, you get arrested it's based on a stalking charge from 2019?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I think it was even actually, it was probably around 2019 when this happened. It was an incident with my daughter. She had a situation, and her mom was reaching out to me, and I was unavailable at this time when she was reaching out. And for whatever reason, she thought that I was ignoring the situation about my daughter. So when I finally woke up and got to my phone and seen the text messages, of course, I was deeply concerned about what had took place with my daughter, and I reached out. And so she just accused me of not being concerned, and one thing led to another, and we got to arguing, and things were said, and and some of the things that I said, I guess maybe made her afraid or whatever. So she filed a report, and they reached out to me for a mediation meeting. And at that time, I wasn't going to no fucking mediation meeting. And so I just didn't show, and they put a warrant out for me, a misdemeanor warrant. I had a misdemeanor warrant for 4 or 5 years and didn't even know. And the reason I didn't know is because at the time when it happened, she was living in Mississippi, which Mississippi, Memphis, 10 minutes away from each other. But by her filing a report in Mississippi, me living in Memphis, as long as I don't go to Mississippi, I would never know anything about that misdemeanor warrant. So fast forward to now, I'm on bond, the $90,000 bond, living in Mississippi at the time. Get pulled over, regular traffic stop, on bond for the young Dolph. And the officer tell me, man, you got saying you have a misdemeanor warrant, man, for stalking from 2019. And when he told me this, I argued him up and down, because I'm like, I never had any issues with anybody in Mississippi, for sure never dated nobody from Mississippi, but at that time I wasn't thinking, about the past situation with the mother of my daughter. And so they arrested me and took me in, and they ended up dropping the case because it was so old.
Okay. So the whole time leading up to the trial, you're actually still out?
Yes.
Okay. So then in September of 2024, Cornelia Smith acknowledged during court testimony that he and Straight Drop were the ones who killed young Dolph after being promised a $100,000 payout from you and Big Jook. And they claimed that you were supposed to get $20,000 based on setting this whole thing up. Now, Straight Drop ends up getting sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Then he got sentenced another 35 years for 2 other convictions from the trial: conspiracy to commit murder and being a felon in possession of a gun. As you're seeing all this stuff come together, and now they're starting to point the finger at you. How do you feel?
I mean, of course, I feel bad, upset, I guess, so to speak, for even being involved in some shit that I had nothing to do with. At this point, so many things have been said and done that you couldn't have told me months or years prior. If someone said this, I would have argued them up and down that it wasn't true. So at this point, I was only concerned about me. And, because there were certain things that were said from straight drop that I didn't necessarily agree with. And so at that point, I was just concerned about me and my family.
Now, you got a plea deal offer from the state.
I did.
What was the deal?
It started off as 20.
20 years?
Yeah, 20 years at 30%. Then they went down to 15 after my attorney filed 16 motions against the state. That we won 11 of them. And so they went down to 15.
When you say 30%, you have to serve 30% of the time?
Well, yeah, the 30% doesn't mean you're going to actually be released at that. It's just the eligibility date for parole.
Okay. So you could end up doing the whole 15.
Yeah, you could.
Or more.
Yeah. And with my record and with the nature of the charges, there's no way I would have made parole.
Okay.
After the 30% eligibility date. So we didn't think that was a good offer. I think it was around the motions, right after the motions or whatever, they came some way, Manny, we negotiated another deal. And it was for 10 years. And so, the head district attorney, he wasn't against it. I think Manny talked him into it. At this point, we still felt like we could win. I think I kind of, prior to that, Manny was, we're going to trial. We're going to trial. We're not taking it. It's unreasonable. I told him a conversation that I had with my son, and my son was like, he wanted me to take the deal. And his position was, he'll rather lose me for a few years than the rest of my life.
Right, because you're facing life in prison.
Correct.
Do they have a death penalty in Memphis?
Yeah, they do. And I think they gave me some enhancements. I don't know if they enhanced me to the point where they could possibly ask for the death penalty. I think so, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not positive about it. But when I told Manny the conversation that I had with my son, it was kind of tugging at Manny. And, like I said, me and Manny, we developed a bond, and he was just like, it was always a chance that I could lose in trial. And with that being said, it was like, if I lost, it would have been rough on everybody, including Manny. And so, we decided that it was in my best interest to take the 10-year deal. I signed the papers.
You signed the 10-year deal?
2 weeks ago. Okay. Maybe not even that long. I signed the deal for 10 years. I had conditioned my mind. I'm like, okay, I made a few phone calls to the few people that care about me and talked to them about it. And I had almost a year of jail credit already. So if I could get to the penal farm and do 3.5, 4 more years, I could possibly be home. So I just felt like that was the best thing to do. So I signed the deal, and they took the deal, and they went to the family, and the family rejected it and said they didn't, deal.
The family of young Dolph.
Family.
Oh, they have to accept that.
They have to accept it. They don't have to, but for whatever reason, the DA was dancing to their music.
Okay.
And so when they rejected it, it was trial, because I wasn't taking the 15.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't take that at gunpoint.
So, but you were ready to take the 10.
Yeah, I would have took the 10. Yeah, it's a big difference to me between 10 and 15. So yeah, I was ready to take the 10. I took it, and they turned it down.
Which actually worked out for the best.
Yeah, and I not to sound sinister or nothing, but I appreciate it.
Who are we seeing here?
It's me and Justin getting out the truck. It was me on the driver's side, my shirt up because I've been shot in, trying to hold it
Once you're inside, what do you all do?
He had called somebody.
Who's he?
Justin had called somebody to bring a wound kit or whatever.
A wound
kit from Walgreens, so I could clean up. We both could clean up or whatnot. Like I said, I had called my girl to come get me.
Who's your girl?
I had called my girl to come get me, and we also contacted Mr. Hernandez Govan, and I was telling him to get my phone and my car, and that's when he was telling me.
Out of the car?
Out their car, yeah.
The white
Mercedes. And that's when he was telling me to meet him where he get a car wash at.
And where did he normally get his car wash?
Pressure work.
And how did you know that's where he gets his car wash?
Because I had been up there with him before getting car wash.
And at some point, you leave that apartment.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you leave?
My girl kind of picked me up.
And your girl? Does the girl have a name?
Miss Angela kind of picked me up.
Okay. You previously been shot this video, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What are we looking at here?
Oh, that's me and Justin walking out. He getting in the white SUV, and I'm walking to Miss Angela's truck. Getting.
When you call your girl, Miss Angela?
Nah.
What did you call her?
Oh, baby.
Okay. Got any baby trouble? Have y'all left at this point?
No, ma'am.
Why hadn't you left?
I was actually waiting on Justin to pull out, so we pull out at the same time.
That
Justin walking up to the truck with me and Angela was in. I was waiting on him. I told her not to pull off until he pulled off.
Why didn't you want to pull off before he pulled?
Because I know we just did a hit, so it was really like, looking after him at the time. And then we both were shot. Well, he was straight, but I was shot. So I just really made sure he pulled that one out.
Justin, I know you used his phone for when you were calling quick. Over the course of the summer, you all getting to know each other. Did you have Justin's number?
Well, along the way, that's when Hernandez Govan was like, y'all just swap out numbers, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he gave me, Hernandez Govan gave me just the number.
And what do you have the number that Govan gave you? Say that.
For Justin?
For Justin, yes.
Lil bro.
Little bro. So bro and little bro.
Yes, ma'am.
Did Justin have more than one number?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Did Justin come back out?
Yes, ma'am.
So we see the vehicle Justin leaving, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. That white vehicle, and this is me and Angela leaving right here.
And it's Angela driving?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Taylor, I think this is a good place for us to stop for lunch.
My name is Dr. Juliet Scantlebury, Juliette, Scantlebury, Scantlebury.
And where are you employed?
At University of Tennessee, at a West Tennessee Regional Forensic Center.
And what's your position?
I'm an assistant medical examiner.
How long have you been in that position?
6 years.
And what does your job consist of?
My job consists of performing medical legal autopsies to determine the cause and manner of death in certain cases in this jurisdiction.
So I want to talk a little bit about your background. Could you tell the jury about your education?
Yes. So I completed a Bachelor of Science in Biology at Howard University. Then I completed my medical degree at Howard University College of Medicine. My anatomic and clinical pathology residency was at Washington University in St. Louis. And then my last training was in forensic pathology fellowship at St. Louis University.
And are you board certified?
I am.
And are you a licensed physician in Tennessee?
I am.
And could Could you tell the jury what is forensic pathology?
So forensic pathology is a specialized branch of medicine that examines.
Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. War and Hip Hop, Hernandez, Govan. Will we find out who's funding Hernandez, Govan? Most definitely. We will find out. We most definitely will break it down. We most definitely repackage it up and ship it out accordingly when we do. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment to my YouTube channel. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out.